It's time for the greatest little internet radio show, Blow the Whistle. Always live on SportsSoundChicago.com and on Twitch at SportsSoundShot. Tyler Butterball Beaverball.
I knew this kid was going to be a complete meth, like a youth mess. Not meth. See, I think he needs to go to Allstate because when you're covered by mayhem, you'll be better protected.
Andrew Pepe Valentin.
How can you say that high school's sports is not about business when the IMG Academy, who is supposed to be a legitimate high school, goes for $1.25 billion?
Game time. David Double D Dykstra.
Hope and pray to God that Jordan Love twists his ankle so bad that you get to see this godforsaken mess that is Sean Mother Trucking Clifford.
Nick No Gimmicks Johnston.
I'm sorry, but I can't. I mean, Josh Allen had the same stat line as Lamar Jackson. You're not getting him any fuss. He literally has one less touchdown than Lamar Jackson, and you're not saying anything.
Tyler Beaterbach, Andrew Valentin, David Dykstra, and Nick Johnson. Your greatest little internet radio show everywhere you go.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Blow the Whistle here on SportsSoundChicago.com, Twitch, and YouTube. I am Tyler Butterball Beaverball. I'm along with
Andrew Pepe Valentin.
No gimmicks, Nick Johnston.
and no David Double D Dykstra. He is out today. So Nick in for David today.
You know it.
Nick will be back on Wednesday as well as the usual schedule goes.
I will be asleep.
He will be asleep. I will be here. We all doing things on Wednesday. Welcome in, everybody. Post Super Bowl Sunday, the Monday hangover of football, which a lot to talk about there, which we're going to get into. Talking about the big game yesterday, the Eagles demolishing the Kansas City Chiefs. Some NFL news was breaking kind of before the game started and then throughout the weekend as well. We're going to kind of react and go over that. Talk a little NBA, and then we're going to go off the rails, ladies and gentlemen. If you aren't following us, follow us on every social media platform at Blow T Whistle 1. That's BLOWTWHISTLE 1. Wow, I nailed that. I could not do it for the life of me on Friday. I was having a stroke. And there, you've missed of our episodes. Shame on you. Just kidding. We still love you. You can go listen to back on every single podcast. The first NFL team to have a three-peat and beat them 40-20. Kind of go ahead and say this right now. All those games, no room for Kansas City to breathe. I mean, the only reason Eagles had was the Eagles did not blitz, and they sacked Mahomes 6 times, which is
Crazy.
Unreal.
That was just that front four. Yeah, they said yes. They blitzed twice for sure. That's
Okay.
That's what they was said. But
it was
yeah,
the first half they didn't blitz.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just all goes to show you that front four. I mean, Josh Sweat up there, and even Jalen Carter but he's a threat to the locker room. He doesn't have enough structure or support back there. What a joke. That was
still upset about
that was
that.
an ass whooping to the nth degree.
It was like
Like you said, no room to breathe. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life the entire time. That O-line was getting demolished. And my favorite part was everyone just goes, this is what it would have been if Patrick Mahomes was on the Bears. So we finally got to see
Exactly.
what
Oh, yeah.
what it was going to be.
Absolutely. No,
I mean,
go ahead.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I mean, this has been the year of like the better team steps up big in the first half and just dominates, because you see it in the national championship game, you see it in this game, and this goes to show too, like, as much as we wanted to say like the Eagles were in trouble at the very early ongoings of the season, right? And everybody was saying Sirianni, fire him and all that stuff. This goes to prove, and look, I don't know if it was him or Kellen Moore or the players just rallied themselves, but it's pretty clear that this team stuck together like glue and said, we are not budging an inch. We're going to stay who we are. We're not going to move. We're not going to fault for what we are. Run the ball, play great defense. Jalen makes play, and then for the board, it was A's for me. I didn't see one fault in their game at all, except maybe at the end. But I can't count that because that's junk time. At that point, you're up so far in that game. What does it matter if you're giving up a couple touchdowns?
And I'll give credit to the Kansas City defense. Like, they really locked in on Saquon Barkley. I mean, I think he was the most bet on player for this game.
They shut him down.
And everyone's parlay included was like, okay, this, that, and the other, and then everything was just topped off with
blow the whistle.
an anytime touchdown for Saquon.
Our blow the whistle parlay. We had David picked 2+ touchdowns for Barkley.
But everybody else's legs cashed. Just saying.
I was happy that my under 6.5 receptions for
that was getting scary because he had like 3 straight passes to him. Like,
yeah, I know. Like he had 0 receptions in the first half, and then he started getting them. Like, come on, stay there. So that one hit, but
a clincher really quick.
No, so I'll give credit to Kansas City defense. Like they locked in on the main guy that they needed to lock in on, but Jalen Hurts was just played out of his damn mind.
It opened up the floor for everybody else to. Right. I mean, AJ Brown probably could have had this. I mean, he could have held his numbers. Devonta, same thing. I did have big. He
was still getting mostly positive yards on his carries. It wasn't only a yard or two.
Oh yeah, no.
Very risky going behind the line of scrimmage.
This was very much. I put it on Twitter. I said this is very much like what you saw in 2013 with the Seattle Seahawks when they played the Broncos. Not that Kansas City was like the Broncos, but obviously the mystique is there, kind of like Denver was then. This team kept things simple, and when Marshawn Lynch with the Seahawks wasn't going at that time, they said, well, we got Russ, and Russ has weapons, so let's use these guys. And sure enough, boom, 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 and they just popped them off one after another, and that defense just clamped down hard.
Besides the Eagles having the game that they did, I think you can't take that away from them. But obviously the Chiefs didn't help themselves in any sort of way. They shot themselves in the foot with the penalties that they had on themselves. They'll trying to get the third down. It was basically every third down. It's like, all right. And then a flag would come up and like, all right, Eagles drive is extending.
Yeah.
Clearly Patrick Mahomes throwing the interceptions, awful. Like he couldn't get anything done because like we remember, that line was just making him suffer.
Shout out to the birthday boy, though.
Suffocating.
Yeah. Cooper, I didn't realize that was his first career pick as well.
Yeah.
And it was returned for a pick 6 on his birthday. So that was, and then the other lousy, the bad interception too, like inside their own 20
passes.
Yeah.
I mean, Patrick Mahomes said it himself. He's like, we're not gonna be able to get anything going if I pile on top of it and just give the ball away like I did. Like it's clearly like that's not gonna help any which way. No one was helping them. No one was looking good. I mean, Xavier Worthy at the end of the game finally put it together. He caught all 8 of his targets and had a humongous game. But Travis Kelce couldn't catch the ball. That DeAndre Hopkins open pass. That was a killer. That was it.
That was a killer.
That
would have been a gain of 50 plus if he caught that.
He could not have been any more wide open.
No.
And my dad, he's the most sure-handed guy. Guys. Humongous hands, right there.
Current FL receiver, like you wouldn't expect that. So that one, I agree with Nick on that. Like that right there, even though they were kind of already out of it, but you always had that feedback in your head, like they could like we've seen
doing that all time. Yeah, even with 5 minutes left, like we just need 4 touch and 4 point conversions, and they're right back.
Everyone was like, "It's over."
It's every we're talking about pumped so base like Bates could be on.
Like it was still always that thing of like in the fourth quarter.
Mine, yeah, you're like,
You're
okay,
going.
maybe.
It's Pat. You get a couple of breaks. You get an interception. You get a fumble.
Well, that's how last year's Super Bowl was. Like
Yeah.
Kansas City was down a decent amount, like still within it, not like almost a 40-point deficit, but
Right.
like
and like they only had like two first downs the entire first half.
Yeah.
One of them happened on the first play. So it's just really trying to battle uphill the entire time, and you just couldn't get it done. I thought Isaiah Pacheco could have had a nice game. Same thing with Kareem Hunt. I mean, I did bet.
They just
They did take Kareem Hunt's under, but I was like, but it's still in that same regard. It's like they need to do something on the ground. They're not even trying.
Well, they were impact players all year long. Where did they go? Why did you suddenly say we have to view away from them when they've been? I know Pacheco hasn't been there, but Hunt has been there consistently in the ground game, and now he's supposed to be healthy. Did you not trust them? Were they banged up? Like, was there something else going on there that they didn't want to disclose? That's what I just kept wondering is why. I was in the same boat. Why are they not giving them any touches or
almost
so
looked
minimal?
like a Nagy type of offense.
Might have
Let's
been.
be honest, he wasn't calling the plays. I think that was just poor performance by the players, and then Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Andy Reid might have just choked on this one. This might have just been him just
And it
kind of
happens.
swallowing his pride a little bit too much, and maybe starting to go, this is going to be harder than I thought.
Yeah, I did think Nick Sirianni of all people would outcoach Andy Reid in that sense.
Yeah.
I know. I mean that was what shocked
Somebody,
me.
yeah.
He coached a perfect game. I mean, shout out to him
Well,
too.
Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio
Well, yeah.
might have been the bigger components because
Fangio for sure. Yeah.
Everyone's talking about, can we give the Super Bowl MVP to Fangio? I mean, come on.
Honestly, I mean, Jalen Hurts definitely deserved it for sure. But
Yeah.
I threw my hat in the ring. Josh Sweat had 2.5 sacks pretty early on. He just
like six
demolishing-
pressures or something like that all game.
just
Like,
demolishing.
I wouldn't
that
even been
line.
upset if he got it because I mean,
No.
he played a hell of a freaking game too.
They were
Nick,
saying that, yeah, if they can collectively give it to the defense, they would have done that.
correct me if I'm wrong because I'd feel bad if this was the case. Did David place a bet or like threw a bet out there for Jahan Dotson first touchdown?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh, okay. I thought he said something about Jahan Dotson because when it got called back,
I think we were jokingly saying that, like, when we were trying to pick first that was one of the names, like, we're gonna throw out all these big names, but it's gonna be a guy like Jahan Dotson
Yeah.
or
it almost was.
it was. Or like Noah
Very
Gray or
close.
something like that.
I remember I was sitting at the team like, did David really call this damn thing? and then it got turned reversed. And then I
Yeah.
was like, okay, no, he still wouldn't have got it. But I'm like, I can't remember if he even placed that. But yeah, no. So I mean, absolutely demolishing game by the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel that was a nice, heartwarming feel for Nick Sirianni, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
all the guys that won it for the first time.
Can the Eagles fans finally stop complaining about Nick Sirianni now?
no,
Can they appreciate a guy that wins 70% of his games and has brought him 2 Super Bowls now?
no.
You guys are
They're Philly
spoiled,
fans.
okay?
Sorry, one.
Yeah, right,
bad.
one.
Doug
They are
Peterson was
spoiled. Like they've been able to go to 2 Super Bowls before the Bears have had 3 steady head coaches. Like,
Yeah, but they're never happy. That's the problem.
no.
Philly. Did you see downtown Philly? It
Yeah.
looked like a
fans were
tornado.
fighting each other.
Exactly.
Be happy.
They're the only fans that could be so happy that they won a Super Bowl that they become angry and decide to go, let's box each other. Like, I mean,
Screw you, I'm the bigger fan.
Exactly. Like, chill.
Oh, you're going
out.
to grease the poles? Let me just rip the poles out of the ground
What is wrong with
and
you?
carry it around.
Philly fans are
God,
a different.
We're gonna
breed.
eat the building. Like, what are you doing?
I did love that one picture. It was just it's kind of a famous like the New York Times strip when just like, oh, you're going to vote and just all the same outcome anyway. It's just like the Chiefs win or the Eagles win. It's still Philadelphia's just going to burn to the ground anyway.
Yeah, either way.
Doesn't matter.
Let's
my
talk about
God.
so Nick, we were on Wednesday, we were talking about our bets. You told me you won some pretty money.
Oh, I could
Go over the ones that I want to hear that you won on because
I
I didn't
cooked.
win a damn thing.
I went 9 for 16. 15 of the plays were pre before the game even started. I only took one live bet, and that was Saquon anytime, just because
Okay.
best odds at the time it was plus 250. I was sitting at halftime. I even said it out loud to my buddies. I'm like, might be the best time, but clearly didn't get it done.
All right.
Big play for sure was plus 1,300. Jalen Hurts to be the leading rusher for the game. My mindset was simply just, okay, I think when we were going over this on Wednesday, he was -8. Saquon Barkley was -850 to be the leading rusher. I'm like, That's not fun. Let's
Yeah.
take the field. Let's take someone from the literally any other name. I go, okay, well, Jalen Hurts. So let's go Jalen Hurts. That was the big one.
See,
right
that
there.
was the guy I felt all along. Even with Saquon, I was like, I think Hurts is going to lead the game in rushing yards because Patrick Mahomes doesn't really run too much anymore. And I just felt like Saquon, I'm like, they're going to be keying on him the whole game.
Exactly.
They're not going to give him, if he gets 100 yards, great, but I still don't think he's going to lead the team in rushing.
Exactly. That was the one right there. The DeAndre Hopkins anytime. That was huge. I had him at plus 650. Again, my mindset was just the same. Just, if they're going to have an opportunity at any time, they're going to try and give it to DeAndre. And sure enough, they did. Their one and only red zone play was to him. So I like that. And then I think the 2-point conversion one, I think we had it at plus 180. I waited a day or two and we got up to plus 250. So anytime 2-point conversion, any score. So I got that.
And you plays that?
Yeah,
okay.
played that one. Other than that, it was kind of just like, under on Saquon's rushing at 111.5 yards, under on Kareem Hunt's rushing, a couple other anytimes. I think I had Xavier Worthy for an anytime. I had AJ Brown for an anytime. So yeah, I did pretty solid. I think up like I only do like $5 plays.
Yeah.
So I was up like $125. I'm like, all right, this is good.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Mine, I made the mistake and I parlayed too many of them.
There you go.
And so like I got the over of Hurts passing, under Kelsey receptions. I don't know why I was half asleep and I accidentally did over 30.5 of Mahomes rushing. It was close.
Yeah, 25.
25, but the first half I was like, oh,
Chiefs
God.
leading rusher for what it's worth.
Yeah. So I didn't get that. The touchdown one screwed me because I had Worthy and Hurts anytime, and then I did Saquon 2+, and that did me no good.
Did you land the coin toss? I had tails.
I did heads.
Yeah.
It's just like I second decided I'm like, let's do heads.
Yeah, that was my. I think I've done every single year. I've done heads, and then for whatever reason, I'm like, let me do tails this year. Why not?
Yeah.
And then funny enough, didn't talk to my buddies beforehand. Came to the Super Bowl party, like tails. He goes tails. We're gonna do that. Everyone besides one friend was like, all right, I'm fading you guys for heads. I'm like, you're gonna be an idiot. You're gonna be really mad in about 30 seconds.
I know.
I didn't know you could parlay the coin toss with stuff.
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
It's
you
like
can parlay
first tip.
prop bets. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My buddy was like so excited. He's like, yes. I'm like, did you have a really big one? He's like, no, I got tails and Saquon Barkley anytime. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, CBS Sports does it. They call it the prop bet parlay, where you can just like parlay all the prop bet stuff together.
It always
And
makes
you
me
can make
think
a lot of money if you hit on it. Like you can make like a good couple $1,000.
Makes me think of Uncut Gems because
Yes.
I need to win the opening tip, and that's the only way the bet even starts. Like, oh my god, you can be cooked right there. You've been done.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other ones I placed live bets on, I just did anytime octopus.
Okay,
and it got close towards the end, and I didn't get it. And then I got bored because it was like plus 15,000 Eagles to win by 46+ points. I'm like, let's throw $1 down. I would have won 150. The way how the game was going, and then I live bet because my dad, I got him on DraftKings, and he was just going bonkers.
Yeah, it's
with live betting.
fun.
So I did third touchdown score, Devontae Smith. I'm like, why not? And so again, I was just having too much fun with it. The only thing I won really was the Eli Manning making the field goal for FanDuel.
That's right.
Got myself a free $10 bonus bet.
Yeah.
So
I'll that. I'll put that on our NHL face off probably tomorrow or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The only thing that I bet on, and I completely forgot about it, I told these guys, was I bet on the defensive touchdown in the first half. That I put $5 on, and it got me 120. So I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Honestly, I might be looking for that because if that just happens one time, you're basically like you're paid off for it.
Yeah,
Anything else after that is just gravy.
Yeah, I like that was the only bet I made because I was like, it's obscure. Let's go for it.
And it's juicy as all hell.
Yeah.
It's got like plus 3,000 anytime. Basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, I got some nice money out of it, and our boy King B-Mac chimes in. He said, I had a 10-leg parlay. Everything hit everything except the Saquon and Hunt anytime touchdowns and Kelsey for 40+ yards. That one hurt because he finished with 39. Yeah, that's a struggle.
Yeah.
That's always the worst when it's like a yard or a few yards shy.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's so brutal. But I
was just staying away from the whales. Every time,
Yeah,
time anyone said Travis Kelce this or Saquon that,
That's
I was
the
just kind
thing.
of like,
This was the Super Bowl for the obscure, not like the stars. This felt like the one where it's like the guy that you've never heard of or the guy you wouldn't think of is going to make the play.
No, I like the guy that was giving up the juju prop because he is over on receptions right away. It was at one.
And I'm like, didn't expect him to be that leading receiver.
And this was like, there was no like flashy plays. Like always you see like, oh, the fat guy touchdown or over 2.5 players to throw a pass on this team. There was nothing like that this year. No flea flicker.
No.
The doink didn't happen. So
Yeah.
Ultimately, this is a very boring game from top to bottom. I know this was like really good for the haters if they I hate Travis Kelce. I hate Taylor Swift. I hate the Chiefs. You loved it then. But I mean, for a football fan, I was bored. I was like,
I still enjoyed it. To me, it was just like, it was like a beatdown, but like, I guess it was more of like, okay, it's nice seeing someone like the Chiefs have had close games all year. And then just seeing Philadelphia just come in and just playing a perfect, like that was what I enjoyed as a football fan, like seeing a perfect game come from the Eagles and just completely dismantling like the reigning Chiefs. Like all the talk was about the Chiefs and like Eagles are like, hey, don't forget about us. And they just, boom, shut it.
But there was never like my, there was no edge of my seat moment at all this entire game. So
Well, that was the problem, is that it didn't. Maybe I missed it. I don't know. But listening to the media, it did not feel like they were building this up as like, oh, this is the rematch, right?
Mhm.
Like I didn't feel like that energy was there of like they are going back to the Super Bowl against each other. This could become like a rivalry we see for a long time potentially, and you're not doing any. It feels like you're not doing enough with it. But like you said, I was sitting there myself too, Nick, and I was just kind of like, and you too as well, Ty. I was like, I'm enjoying watching the game, but I'm also bored out of my mind because it's so one-sided. I'm expecting more from the Chiefs, and I couldn't even enjoy the fact that like the Chiefs were like the dynasty was kind of getting shut down, right? Their three-peat was not going to happen. But it doesn't do anything for me either at the same time too, because it's like, but they're probably going to be just right back because they're Kansas City. They
you
always
would think there was
find a way.
Some speculation like, oh, is Travis Kelce going back?
It was definitely a more underwhelming Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Let alone the commercials were bland.
I couldn't tell you.
That's
That got aired out like weeks ago. I mean,
That's
the
the thing, it was
Martha
weeks ago.
Stewart with the Skechers was okay,
yeah.
where she's like puts on the Skechers and all of a sudden she's breakdancing and you could tell it's just like terrible AI or whatever like that.
Yes.
But I mean, that part was funny, but like other than that, like there really wasn't any that really stood out.
I like the Little Caesars one from the guy from Schitt's Creek. His eyebrows flew off.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even hear the audio from it. I was just kind of we were all kind of talking.
I'm blanking on his name. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy from American Pie, obviously.
Yes. The dad.
Yeah.
Ah, God.
They also had the Pringles one where all the mustaches were flying off.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like Andy Reid's mustache and James Harden mustache
Yes.
all flew away. Like that was
And then
okay.
some people are kind of, I mean, maybe just because of the people that are in it, but the guy from Thor and then the guy from I'm blanking on the names.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, when they're doing like I guess like an art museum or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't understand that.
I didn't.
I
Again,
thought-
I
I
would have
did-
to play that one back. but
I
that
didn't
one
know
looked like
what that was.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was watching it going like, what is this for?
Yeah,
Like,
that might have some legs to it. I didn't hear the audio.
Yeah.
I was
a little
listening,
slow,
but I was
too.
like, I still was lost by it. The rest of them were they're all yeah.
if you want to watch them, folks, they always do like a compilation on YouTube, anyways.
Yeah.
Which is,
Gone are the days of that Doritos commercial, like hands off my mama, hands off my Doritos.
Right.
That's over with. That's all
or
gone.
the Bud Light or Budweiser frogs, all
Yeah,
that stuff.
That's gone.
It's out the window.
That's gone.
The one was it a Budweiser one that it was kind of funny because it was a stupid dad joke. And so they're at a bar just chilling, and so he's trying to tell him a joke. He's like, so a horse walks into a bar, and then a horse literally comes in with a keg.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Just pause right in. I'm like, okay, I appreciate the dad joke, but that was
Right,
funny.
yeah.
But I don't think there's really anything else with that.
No,
It was-
this was I don't want to say it was underwhelming. It didn't hit the mark like a Super Bowl usually does.
Mm-hmm.
And that might just be that I think personally looking at it myself, I think it's that, obviously media's changed a lot. So the interest gauging for the Super Bowl, it's still there. It's just not like it used to be. The pageantry and the fandom and all that stuff, I don't think is as big as it used to be for this kind of stuff anymore. It's still exciting to watch. It's just not.
And this was the year that I think everyone wanted, but mostly everyone wanted Lions Bills in the Super Bowl. That seemed like the
thought that would be more
one.
exciting. That felt more favorable.
It's all right. It gave the Bears a sooner chance of getting Ben Johnson.
Exactly. What were you guys thinking about? Well, I got a couple. The lower third. Awful. Just
I could have put that together in 10 minutes.
Hire me.
Yeah.
Hire me.
I was saying that beforehand.
I can make you a moving graphic with lights and all kinds of shot. You name it, I got you.
You know what's funny? My dad was streaming it off of Tubi TV. And so I was like, what the hell? I thought at first I was like, does Tubi TV have this stupid graphic on? And then I'm looking on Twitter, I'm like, no, this is Fox.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
this is Fox.
This is garbage.
This is Fox. These are people getting paid a salary job to make these, folks.
My dad was like, what do you think? It's simple, it's basic, it's easy. I'm like, no, it looks awful.
It's garbage.
I'm like, that was one of the worst.
Just garbage.
Did you guys have any opinion on Tom Brady at all throughout the broadcast? From what I was able to gather from time to time, it was just he wasn't awful. He was just kind of making really awkward, like this. It's not hitting. Like I don't know.
He felt out of not in the moment.
Yeah.
Like he just didn't seem like he was gelling too well with what was going. I mean, this is the Super Bowl, but he's not there as a player. He's there as a commentator and a spectator at the same time. I think he was just kind of like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like
the one that got me it wasn't even about the game. They just they threw up a graphic because again they're just getting their ass handed to them.
Yeah.
Just might as well throw up some fun stuff. The average ticket sale was this much. An average. The average cost for the advertisement was $8 million. He just goes, $8 million. You have to save your pennies for that one. I'm like, Tom, what are you talking about?
It felt like he was doing a commercial. Like
I know.
it was so weird. Like,
and then he was in one. He did the Duracell. He did the battery.
yes.
commercial.
That's right,
yeah.
Which that could be
The
like
one
top
thing
five.
that he was okay. The one thing I liked was towards the end of the game where Kansas City got flagged for, was it offensive pass interference? Like he set a pick.
Yeah.
And then he was like all like, no, that wasn't. They looked really, okay, yeah, that was.
Yeah.
And he's like, sorry, I'm just used to being on as a player, just arguing with the refs and stuff like that. Like that was funny because it's like perspective and stuff like that. But
I think that's what they were hoping for more of. But I don't know. He just didn't feel comfortable.
Yeah,
or something.
He was getting too much into.
I think it's time to just be an owner on his part.
Yeah, honestly.
might be halftime.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was good.
Like it wasn't great. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I guess there wasn't, like you were saying, we were talking about it, like not enough of the old Kendrick Lamar.
Apparently
if
he did play one of my
anything-
favorite songs, but I just missed it. So
Like anything on Mad City would have been great.
Exactly.
Yes.
If you played anything from Good Kid, Mad City, that
Yeah,
place would've been-
absolutely.
Like that would have been great.
Yeah.
I did love the part where he looked directly into the camera with a grin after I didn't think he was going to name drop Drake from Not Like Us, but I was
called
like,
that.
wow.
I knew he was. I'm like, he's too bold. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say too bold, but he's willing to go
The
for it.
Samuel L. Jackson bit was good.
Yeah.
I personally liked that how they were teasing it. It's like, are you gonna play it? And
Yeah.
Then they would transition to another
Yeah.
song. Like, okay, maybe we'll wait, and then they ended up doing it later. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And then,
just for recency bias, the fact that he was able to say what he said and about what
Mhm.
that might make it the best halftime performance. But I can understand, like, rap doesn't, sometimes rap performances don't translate well in concert
It's a
realm like that.
generational thing.
Yeah. No, I personally thought the performance was awesome. I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan, so I'm not gonna be
Same.
I'm not gonna be I'm not gonna be a hater on it. Could have been better. Sure, any halftime performance could
He's
be
a,
better.
he's a showman through and
Yeah,
through. Like,
he is.
But at this point in time, like, what band or performer isn't gonna get like a crazy amount of hate at any point in time? So it's
Right.
like, I mean, they're either gonna be like really, really loved or really, really hated. There's probably gonna be
I
an
saw
in-between, but-
someone tweeted like, when can we get a country artist? And I'm like, I like country music, but I'm like, maybe if you did Post Malone, where
Morgan
he can do
Wallen,
multiple,
maybe?
or Morgan Wallen, but
that might be the only guy.
Post Malone, at least he's got multiple genres of music that he could switch it up at any
Exactly.
time.
Well, it's because you got to be able to put. It's a halftime show, so you have to put on a show. That's why guys like Bruno Mars and all these other artists out there. That's why they're The Weeknd.
you can do that stuff with them because look at their music and look at their personality. A country artist, like I said, Morgan Wallen might be the only guy, or Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Jelly Roll's the only other one, maybe. Both of those
and
dudes.
even then, like true country artists, fans don't like Jelly Roll because they're like,
Right.
oh, he's half rap.
But what do you?
half this.
Yeah, I know.
But what are you
It's
gonna
like,
do? You gonna stick Chris Stapleton up there with a guitar and say, "Have at it"? People are gonna go, "Oh, okay, time to go to the bathroom." They're not gonna watch.
Exactly.
You know, if it's not Prince on a guitar jamming out Purple Rain in the rain, I'm sorry, people are not gonna watch some dude strumming going like not gonna happen.
Do Garth Brooks, but his emo side. I forgot.
Yes,
I forgot his emo.
oh my God, what is it?
Persona.
I'm gonna look that up
Yeah.
now.
Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
It's something stupid.
just throw them off.
Yeah, I mean, even in my mind, like, you know, I'm kind of more on like the rock band metal side. Like, I know a band like Metallica would be cool, but that still wouldn't be like a good show.
Right.
Yeah.
But you put out songs that then people know, but because you think back, like, oh, the Who was not that good. Maybe like the Foo Fighters would be cool.
Yeah.
They'd be good.
I don't know, like
Paramore.
Yeah,
Paramore
again,
would be
pretty
good.
niche, but I think she would still they would put on a good show.
I think
The other suggestion I heard was Red Hot Chili Peppers. I really.
Got to have people who have like those connections too. You can't just be like, and here's another singer that Reba.
Yeah.
We've got Reba coming in.
Okay, hold on. I love this.
I love Reba too. Do not get me wrong.
I'm a survivor.
It's not. There's going to be a
Yeah.
small part of the population that's like, we love this, and everyone's going to go, who
Yeah.
are these people again?
I mean, you could do like Eminem by himself. I know they came out with like the whole group.
Right.
Last year.
Yeah, they did the whole.
Yeah.
they brought back
Everyone
Mafia.
did their nostalgia song and then left, which I mean that was nice. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely. King B-Mac, he's chiming in. He said, I don't think we'll ever see universal enjoyment of the halftime show again.
No,
That's totally fair.
that's true.
And he said, music is so subjective and people are so negative that there always be a group that hates whatever it is.
Exactly.
Death, taxes, and people hating the Super Bowl halftime show.
Yeah.
No, 100%. 100%. I don't know what's like what that next step is though for like where can you go from here? I mean, you've gotten some pretty popular artists. Who's next?
Yeah.
You know? Other than maybe pulling some people out of retirement and being like, hey, Justin, you want to come back? We'll get we'll get the Jacksons back and we'll try this again. How about that?
Well, that is Super Bowl 59, from the game to the halftime show to the commercials. Give us your guys' thoughts. What do you guys think of the big game? What do you guys think of the commercials and the halftime performance? Hit us up on our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at BlowTWhistle1. That's BLOWTWHISTLE1. Coming up next, some news in the NFL has broken, and someone might be following Brett Favre's path. We'll talk about that next here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is your home for sports.
This is the best fans in the world.
No better team. SportsTownChicago.com.
Are you ready for this? Valley View Automotive has all of the hottest SUVs you've been looking for. Enjoy a test drive and the opportunity to drive one of these powerful vehicles off the lot for half the price. Yes, half the price. Now's the time to get yourself to Valley View by car, on foot, or even by air to take advantage of this outrageous sale. You better get here quickly, because this promotion is only going on for 24 hours, and the automobiles are leaving the lot faster than you can say four-wheel drive. Valley View Automotive, a dealership you can depend on.
Hey, I'm Andy Griggs, asking you to help prevent domestic violence. Domestic violence isn't a woman's issue. It hurts all of us. Women are injured and killed every day by their husbands and boyfriends. So it's time for men to take action right now to teach boys that violence against women is wrong, to help prevent abuse before it starts. Call the Family Violence Prevention Fund at 1-800-END-ABUSE to get a free Take Action kit containing tips on what to say to boys. That's 1-800-END-ABUSE. Teach early.
Indeed is the #1 job search user with over 250 million monthly users. Indeed's priority is to help everyone in the job searching process to find a job by uploading 10 new job opportunities every 10 seconds worldwide. With Indeed, you have free access to job searches, resume uploads, and company researches. There are over 10,000 employees at Indeed that pursue to help people find the job they are looking for. They connect with millions of people to new opportunities. Go to Indeed.com and sign up for free and create a resume, and let Indeed do the rest to help you on your job search.
Hey, I'm Jesus Mauricio. Be sure to tune in every Friday to listen to Zeus Off the Bat, a baseball talk show from 1 to 2 p.m., where I'll be discussing and updating you on all things about baseball. News, predictions, reactions, and more about the Cubs, Sox, and everything across the league happens every Friday at 1 p.m. right here on SportsTownChicago.com. Don't forget to follow and share our Twitter and Instagram with your friends at Zeus Off the Bat. Zeus Off the Bat.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com, Twitch, and YouTube. Tyler, Nick, and Andrew here with you still. We just gave our initial thoughts of Super Bowl 59 as the Chiefs. Oh, not the Chiefs. Chiefs lost. Sorry, almost went off script.
Yeah.
The Eagles. Yeah, right. The Eagles defeated the Chiefs 40-22. We kind of gave our thoughts on the halftime show, the commercials, and all that fun jazz.
A little smorgasbord of everything.
A little bit of everything. Super Bowl 59 on this post Super Bowl Monday, the hangover of football. I kind of came up with that. That's gonna stick. It's gonna stick.
Yeah.
Should just be a day off. Like it should be a national holiday.
That was one of the Coors Light commercials too. It was like it.
Oh yeah,
I missed that one.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, like a case of the Mondays.
Yeah.
Just drinking.
I mean, think about it. Everyone's hungover. Almost everyone.
Especially those. Have you seen downtown Philly? Nobody can work.
No, Philly's probably shut down today.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
There's
no one's doing anything.
I would expect like schools to be closed,
Yeah,
works like
100%.
work from home, just hang out, enjoy yourself, and enjoy this Phillies win. But some news started breaking during the pregame show before the Super Bowl, and we'll start off first that Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are not. They agreed to not stick around with each other. It was reported that Aaron Rodgers flew out to New Jersey. We thought it was a little simple meet and greet, and they told him we are moving in a different direction. So Aaron Rodgers, as of right now, and looks like it, he will not be with the New York Jets next year.
No.
So
Did you hear my eyes roll?
do we see him going to Minnesota following Brett Favre's path? Give us your guys' thoughts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Blow T Whistle 1. Andrew, I'm going to go to you first. What's going on? Does Aaron Rodgers hang it up? Does he try one more team? What the hell does he do?
Can I just say
More ayahuasca?
Yes, 100% on that for sure. Can I just say though that this guy is so hungry for the attention? Like, come on, this is the time that you picked it just before the Super Bowl to be like, hey, by the way, I'm over here and I'm splitting from the Jets. Like, we're getting a divorce.
Look at me. Look at me.
Yeah, exactly. Where can he go that he's going to make any sort of a difference to a team in terms of helping them get to a championship, right? Because I would assume that's what he's going for. Like, what else? What more in your legacy do you have to chase other than to try and get another Super Bowl? Like, the Steelers, I guess, would maybe be his best bet. Yeah. Minnesota has their future guy in J.J. McCarthy. I mean, and they may still keep Sam Darnold for all we know. It doesn't feel like they should, but they might.
In my mind, being a full-time starter for Aaron Rodgers, that ship has sailed. Like, it has to be gone. Even in that same breath, like, if you want him as a backup, call me crazy. I probably want Joe Flacco as a backup before I want Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, 100%. Because he's a team player.
It's the year of our Lord 2025, and I can't believe I'm saying that. It's just it's blowing my mind. Even that same breath, I know Jameis Winston's trying to do media, but I would probably want him in that just to be a locker room guy over Aaron Rodgers at this point. I don't see really any positive of bringing in Aaron Rodgers to be, a mentor for a guy or to be this.
He's never been a mentor. He wasn't a mentor to Jordan Love, and he puts that all on Brett Favre because he's like, well, you never taught me. It's like, well, be better then.
Like, you can see the small you saw his entire, I kind of think, a facade that they put on for the Hard Knocks Jets the last year.
Yes.
And then you kind of saw small inklings, like, when people would screw up, he kind of just went back to reverted to his old, like, yelling at them as if they were garbage type. Yeah. Like, oh, God forbid they make a mistake.
Like, I'm better than you, and I'm going to make sure you know that.
It's your fault. Yeah. It's not my fault.
Right. Sorry. Receiver messed up. Like, oh, yeah, no, you're not Devontae Adams. Get out of here. Like,
right.
Like, you finally got Devontae, and then you didn't really do anything. So
there's a handful of teams going into the season that are in need of a quarterback. Like, you got the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
You got
the Giants.
The Giants.
The Titans. The Steelers.
There's a handful of teams, but I don't know if they're going to pull.
Do you want him, or do you want a rookie quarterback, or do you want somebody that's going to be there and pay attention and be competent and be a team player.
I don't know how much of an actual teacher he has been, even like during his
hasn't.
time with Green Bay with Jordan
hasn't.
Love.
I mean, there's more upside in taking a guy from this upcoming draft where we've all, as a collective group, we all labeled them as all just projects.
Mhm.
That's the word for sure. And there's way more upside in choosing a guy in this draft class than going with a veteran, a seasoned veteran like Aaron Rodgers.
I'd rather be working with a kid like and expect this season and maybe next season to not be wanting better and be a quarterback in the NFL, not a diva guy that's going to be like, no, we're going to do it my way, and I'm gonna play GM as well.
We're gonna get the roast of Aaron Rodgers before we get him before we get another contract. In the NFL, like, he's gonna conjure up some sort of Netflix deal before he gets back on the field. I have a feeling in my gut about that one.
He's so passive aggressive too. I have to believe with the decision, like you look at the decisions the Jets made, I have a hard time believing he was going, I want this, I want that. He's the guy who goes, boy, it sure be great to have Alan Lazard. Man, I'd love to work with Nathaniel Hackett, because then this way he curves the blame away from himself. Hey, I just said it'd be nice. I never said I wanted them.
Right.
You got him, so it's not my fault. It's his way of deflecting blame because it's never his fault.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. He broke up with all those models and the women and and all those. No, it's not his fault.
Yeah, that's that. Don't want him back. Like, yeah, if you listen to Aaron Glenn during his press conference when he was brought in, he's like, he's translated to basically, I'm not dealing with this old guy.
Right,
I'm not dealing with all the negativity and the circus that's going to come.
He
with this
didn't
guy.
do what Robert Saleh did, which was kind of put Aaron Rodgers in front as like a pageantry thing. He kind of made Aaron Rodgers a footnote and said, look, he's a quarterback. He can make his own decisions. We got to focus on the entirety of the team. We got a lot of work to do. And like kept it at that, as you should, because that's the important part of it. And and he's no longer the high mark for a top 10 quarterback. He's middle of the road, you could say it, but like he can still play. Not saying he can't, but what does he bring to a team now, if anything, but animosity, headaches, and passive-aggressive ego that is going to spread throughout the team like a virus?
He destroys the C word culture, and I mean, I hate saying it, but he's
a culture killer in a lot of ways.
The teams that we listed off, like they're in position, like Tennessee at 1, Cleveland.
They're going to take a quarterback.
They're going to take a quarterback.
Yeah,
New York at 3. They're not going to screw it up again this time. Where the Shane's kid was telling them, yeah, I'd get Jaden Daniels, and they went with Malik Neighbors. Still a great pick, but you need a damn quarterback. Only other ones sitting up there in the top 5. New England does not need a quarterback. Jacksonville, I don't think they're not going to look.
They're not going to look.
No, they just extended Trevor Lawrence for 5 years.
Yeah, and then you're looking at 6 of the Raiders. They're not going to get one of the top tier of this mediocre quarterback class.
Well, and they won't. I don't think they would be stupid enough to take a guy that high at 6.
I think Aaron Rodgers might end up I think Aaron Rodgers is going to end up with the Raiders.
Really?
I think it's one of those weird things. They need something. They're desperate.
I mean, Mark
right
Davis is the kind of guy who would be like, he's a big name. He's a quarterback. He did win a Super Bowl.
But does Pete Carroll deal with his BS?
I was about to say, with Pete Carroll being there, this is kind of turning into like remember that?
Yeah, remember
that type team?
Remember? I remember.
Yeah, remember.
That's why I think Sam Darnold would be perfect for Seattle, because he's more Pete Carroll's kind of MO, where it's like, okay, Sam, you and I,
Vegas.
USC guys, we understand each other. Yeah, or Vegas. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Yes, I apologize.
No, you're good.
I just feel like Aaron Rodgers, like I've heard all the talk of him going to Pittsburgh, and I can't see him in Pittsburgh either.
Yeah,
like it's him and Mike Tomlin.
That's the thing. Him and Mike Tomlin, and not only just him and Mike Tomlin, him and Arthur Smith.
Yep.
Because Arthur Smith is not a guy that likes to be Mr. Domineering. He's kind of a matter-of-fact, laid-back guy.
Okay, sure, you do it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's like, hey, Aaron, you can't talk to me.
If
like
I'm
that.
George Pickens, I hear Aaron Rodgers is on the way over there. I'm freaking out.
I'll choke you out.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, chill.
Spazzing even more than I already have all season.
That's the thing though, is like, where can he go that he make like that's the thing I keep asking. Where does he go that he makes the team better? He doesn't.
He pisses off Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith calls his dad. Yeah, erase his address on every package for FedEx.
This is bull hockey. Tell him to leave his stuff at the boxes.
No, I could totally see a situation that Mike Tomlin would slap Aaron Rodgers. I think it will get
Everyone
that
says
heated.
it'd be like a good move because, well, Tomlin could fix him. It's like, it's not about fixing him. You need to find a way to get along with him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Aaron Rodgers even has enough respect for a guy like Mike Tomlin because things go sideways. Aaron gets all,
I mean,
I'm mad.
It's I mean, if we talked about all the off-field stuff with him, it's simply, you know, if we go back to this last year, there's not one performance that he put up was any good at all.
No.
So again, just looking at the tape, looking at the outside noise, there's I see no positive at all bringing him at any point on the field. If you want to bring him in like a upper management type deal, start talking ball, start making deals, fine. I get, you know, he's a good football mind to some degree,
right?
But he's probably still a somewhat, you know, a pain in the ass to work with at any level at all. So I just don't want
him teaching your young core.
No.
Switching gears a little bit, another news that was broken out before the Super Bowl was that Kellen Moore is expected to take the Saints head coaching job after this season. I don't know if it's anything official yet because after Terry was asking Nick Sirianni about it and he said, "Bring this bleep back. Let's run it back."
Yeah.
So I don't know if is it official? Is he taking it or is it just speculation?
They've made a mutual agreement. It's supposed to be announced, I think, this week. That they're hiring him officially.
And honestly, I mean, that would be a great move for Kellen Moore. He's a great offensive coordinator. Look what he did, obviously, for the Eagles in the Super Bowl. What he's done for them all season. I mean, I would say Dallas's defense or offense during his time there was fairly consistent and stuff
12
like
and
that.
5 back-to-back seasons with him.
And so it's not it's a good move for New Orleans. It's like you got the potential of getting Derek Carr out of his funk. If you're going to continue with Derek Carr,
I just don't think he's very, very good at this point.
I mean, Kellen Moore did beat Derek Carr in college, so the respect is going to be different there.
Well, he's stayed for Fresno State.
He's going in. He's going into a really tough.
That's such an impossible job. I feel like
you're negative $30 million in the cap
60.
space. Oh, 60?
$60 million.
God.
They're dead in the water right now on
dead
cap
there.
space.
You're dealing with Derek Carr, who's only getting older and isn't really meeting up to any potential.
Part of that salary cap problem too.
Chris Olave just can't stay healthy.
No.
Alvin Kamara, he's your workhorse. He's amazing, but again, just you can't throw everything on him.
Yeah.
All he does is catch passes out of the backfield because there's no one out there for anyone to have.
Yeah, seriously.
It's a really the only upside really is just that at any point in time, I feel like anyone in that division can kind of win it.
Yeah. It takes but one player to come up and make a big play, and all of a sudden you've got the lead.
I mean, with Bryce Young having the little tail end of his last year, there'll be some people that are like, I think the Panthers might win that division. So they'll probably be around like 7.5, 8.
And not to mention, Atlanta's moving on from Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
They plan on cutting him, and so it's Michael Penix Jr. era. So it's going to be a lot of competition at NFC South. You're right. It's just there's a lot of work that needs to be done with the Saints, and I wonder how much time they'll give him to be like, all right, like I'll take this job, but you're gonna have to give me some time to build this mess that you guys gave.
This is going to be a 4-win, 5-win season team for the next couple of years, just on paper.
No, this is a rebuilding period. Like that's why you signed him probably to like a 5-year deal because it's going to take 3 years. To shave off that salary cap issue, get yourself down to bare bones, and just draft. Like they have to just acquire picks.
Yeah, at this point.
And I mean that might mean Cam Jordan has to go. That may mean Tyrann Mathieu has to go. Olave may have to go. Carr may even have. Like you may have to just say we're gonna have to trade some dudes. We're gonna have to take some hits and just get picks.
And I don't know
capital.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe this is me like looking way too deep into something. There was an ad for the Super Bowl when people are just like, name your dream matchup, your dream place, and your dream halftime performance.
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara was asked that question, and he goes, Texans versus well, whatever. He named 2 teams that weren't the Saints.
Right. Yeah. He
basically like, I'd rather just see anybody else prosper and do well. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think that may be just me looking too deep into it, but I mean, writing might be on the wall for him to be leaving soon too.
Well, that's the thing is like everybody now. I mean, we've seen it. I know we're going to talk a little bit on it, but you got the Myles Garrett asking for a trade, right? Which clearly his agent was like, yeah, I'm leaking this. Like, yeah, to the hell with you guys. We're getting out of here if we can. And then you've got the Cooper Kupp stuff where like the Rams are like, hey, you're costing us money. We need to free up some cash. So you're going on the trade block. And also you want a chance at another Super Bowl, we'll give it to you.
And then Debo Samuel, another name that's been talked. He's
washed.
open. I
hate to
I'm
to
just
feel that way,
glad
but
to see that Bears Twitter was not going like, get him now. It's like, you don't need Debo Samuel.
I didn't see that. I saw
we need a deep threat. We don't need Debo though.
No. And he, like you said, he's kind of on his decline.
He had his little like magical moments there. They went to some Super Bowls, but this is like I said it a long time ago when we were here on this show. I'm like, man, you keep lining up in the backfield, you keep playing wide receiver. There's so many hits you're taking, and his body, I think, is just wearing out so much. It's catching up to him. Like, just play wide receiver. Be okay with that. You told me he goes to the Commanders right now. It's a great pickup for the Commanders. I think it's a solid pickup for them. Like
that just seems to be everyone's dumping off point. Right?
That's
every time someone's bringing it up, like, I think it's just going to go to the Commanders. Like,
and they used
not
to be
everyone can go there.
They used to be a slide, by the way. You used to say Commanders, and you just went, oh, so their career's over with, right? Like now it's like, no, I want to go there.
Washington is a place you want to be in the NFC, which is crazy to think about.
They're talking about Devontae's supposed to go there, Debo's supposed to go there, Cooper's supposed. Everybody's going to Washington.
Going there too.
Garrett's going there. Micah Parsons is going there.
They got the White House money.
Exactly. This whole, like, I mean, the whole thing with the free agency and stuff too, like all of this offseason, like the nonsense between Aaron Rodgers or the trade request for between Myles Garrett. I mean, that just goes to show like these guys, they're just getting fed up, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Especially with Myles Garrett. I mean, you've been there for what, 7 years now?
Yeah.
And he's earned it.
Yeah. You're the best defensive end in the NFL. Yeah. I think going to probably be a first ballot Hall of Famer by the time his career's over with.
He's only 29, 28?
Yeah. 28, I think, yeah. So
yeah. I mean, right now you're just washing your career away with Cleveland, and I understand why the hell he wants to get out.
It's 29.
29?
Okay.
And he got his paycheck from the Browns, but it's just like, okay, like I want to start winning. And
can't blame him. I mean, when the team commits to a quarterback like
there's speculation, like the Bears are one of the favorites to land Myles Garrett. It's just, it depends on what's going to cause.
You're going to need 2 first-round picks.
Cleveland's, I think, is looking for 2 first rounds.
Like 2 first-rounders and like a second or something. They want the boatload.
I guarantee it's going to be one of this year's picks.
Yeah. Easily.
I said if they can get away, if the Bears can get out of it with not having to trade the 10th pick, sure.
That's
go for it.
That's the problem. They're going to want that pick.
They are. I mean, that's because they're in a good spot right there.
Yeah. They're just going to need to recoup. But the whole like the Debo stuff and everything and that whole situation is just San Francisco just needs to shed the fat. Like, I'm sorry, you're old, you're broken, get rid of the pieces that aren't working for you anymore.
Well, they might not even they might not re-sign Brock Purdy.
See, I think that's why they're doing this, though, is I think they're going to try to sign Brock Purdy for the money he wants.
Okay.
And that's why they're trying to get rid of Debo, because that clears.
But is he worth the money that he wants?
Well, that's the big question, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think he is personally myself.
I mean, it doesn't help that, like, lately the quarterback market has been kind of ruined where
crazy.
You're paying all that money to Jordan Love for being Jordan Love. No
to go get Aaron Rodgers.
Toyota-thon.
Yeah.
But like
Aaron always wanted to play in San Francisco.
And that's the thing. And then you got Justin Fields that could be looking for a bigger contract. I mean, I don't know. I think
Russell Wilson is going to be out there. Like there's a ton of guys.
I think some guys are aware that they're not going to get top dollar, but they're going to need to get something.
Yeah.
And there's teams out here that are desperate. I've heard Raiders are a destination for Justin Fields.
Everybody's going to Las Vegas apparently.
And then just one other quick news that happened this morning. Actually, the Dallas Cowboys are planning on adding Ken Dorsey, former Browns and Bills offensive coordinator, to the staff. So,
what are they doing?
Good job, Jerry. Good job, boy.
Jerry,
way to go, Jerry.
Jerry's just jerrying this whole thing. Like,
how about them Cowboys?
God, he needs to just step away from being the general manager.
Did you
just play owner and let
people do their damn
Did you guys
jobs.
talk about his press conference at all on the other shows?
No.
If you watch that, and I'm sure a lot of people did, watch that thing and tell me that's not Jerry Jones's press conference with Brian Schottenheimer just kind of riding shotgun.
Oh my God.
He just clearly hijacked and is just like, I'm going to answer all the
Just sitting
questions.
there like a house
Yeah,
plant.
he is like, this is supposed to be his thing. And yet Jerry's like, any more questions? It's like, it's not about you, dude.
I can
It's
totally
about the
see
coach.
it. He's asking Schottenheimer just like, so what do you plan on doing to like, build the offense and stuff like that? Oh, well, what he's going to do is he's going to do this because I told him to.
I'll answer that for you, Brian. I got you.
Old bum. God, just go away.
You know what's sad is my dad's older than he is, and he looks so much better than him.
Crazy.
Well, that is us reacting to the late NFL news. Obviously, I feel like we're now free agency is about to start, and we're going to be seeing some.
Oh, it's 3 months of talk, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're going to be talking a lot about that, ladies and gentlemen. But when we come back, we're going to switch gears and talk basketball with the NBA, as now that teams after the trade deadline have started to get into their new teams. We're going to talk about how they're looking at right now and talk maybe a little playoff preview. That's coming up next here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is your home for sports. SportsTownChicago.com.
Joe's Hot Dogs has been around since 1953, but I promise it's not old news. You don't have to like hot dogs to like Joe's on Plainfield Road in Joliet. Italian beef, hot dogs, shakes, and sides. My family's had a relationship with Joe's Hot Dogs for 3 generations. Golden fries with a tad bit of salt and the perfect amount of crunch come in a bag as big as your hand. And that's just small. For more on the menu, visit joeshotdogsjoliet.com, bringing that classic Chicago flavor to the suburbs. That's Joe's Hot Dogs across from CVS on Plainfield Road in Joliet.
At the football game, Jim shows the telltale signs of being wasted. He starts flexing for the camera. He refers to his muscles as gunboats. He screams, "How's this for a halftime show?" Jim streaks the field.
It's easy to tell if you've had way too many to drive. But what if you've had just one too many to drive? Never underestimate just a few. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, the Ad Council, and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and Windy City News Radio.
The Illinois Center for Broadcasting is now the Illinois Media School. We've been an institution in the Chicagoland area now for 30 years. Because the broadcasting world is always changing, so are we. Not only are we teaching radio and television production, but now you can learn all aspects of the media industry, like web design. You can even specialize in TV or film, sports broadcasting, and even sales. No matter where you are in the Chicagoland area, we have a campus near you. The Illinois Media School. Be on TV, be on radio, beonair.com.
Maybe that was money. Tell me that wasn't money.
Yo, check us out. We are the go-to guys. I'm your boy Space.
I'm your boy MC.
Check us out every Thursday
from 4 to 5 p.m.
We spitting all facts, all sports, all day.
Yes, sir. Who else you gonna go to in the clutch?
Lillard, long range three, and it's good!
Keeping you up to date with all the latest sports news.
We are
the go-to guys.
Where else you gonna get all your sports news from?
You know,
SportsTownChicago.com.
Welcome back here, Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com, YouTube, and Twitch. Tyler, Andrew, and Nick with you here on Monday, post Super Bowl Sunday. No Dave for today. Not really sure. He just hasn't gone. I'm not going to ask him.
He had the world.
He does. Maybe. I don't know. He said he won. I don't know if. He never told us if he won anything.
Yeah.
But, we just finished up talking about the NFL Super Bowl. Just went over some NFL news that happened, and now we're gonna teams assets that got rescinded. If I'm saying that right? Rescinded back to LA because what was it? Mark Williams did not pass his.
He's got like 1,000 injuries.
Yeah, he didn't pass his physical, and so now the guys flew to each other and then flew back.
What's worse, the trade him coming back or Dennis Schroeder getting 4 times in the past? Who contemplated retirement?
Yes.
Well, he did play last night.
He did.
Yeah, he 3. Play for a couple minutes.
Yeah. That's tough. Hitting 4 times, like I guess it's something it is deeming considered a bird to still be in a trade. Feel like you're getting passed around quite.
I'm just like thinking to myself. He flies in, meets with the new team. He's like, "Yeah, I'm about to check out some real estate." And then, hold on.
It's like when the Atlanta Hawks put out the of Carmelo Anthony, and they're like, "That was 5 hours."
They're just like, you could just sit up in a mirror and do it.
I think I'd probably go with that. I mean, the Williams thing is just like he's 7'2", he's a big man. You didn't expect him to probably have a few bumps and bruises, like
right.
But it is a little strange that like at that point, like you're making the trade back. Like I don't know. I thought that you would have been able to keep him, and just say, well, we'll suffer with him. But I guess they didn't like what they saw. I mean, I thought you would have been able to power to center.
People are saying that it's paying back because of the Luka Doncic trade was so awful that they're like, okay, we can't let the Lakers get too wealthy over here.
At least the Lakers didn't call like Dalton Connett fat on the way out or something.
Yeah,
like that.
right.
That's fair.
Tell them they can't handle running games and stuff like that.
You're going over to Charlotte, fat boy.
Yeah.
No, they're not doing that.
He's getting a little muffin toppy over there. We couldn't have. Oh, hey, you're back.
Oh, hey, how awkward that would be, though.
What's up, Fatso?
Hey, Tubby.
Yeah, that's how LeBron greets him back in the locker room.
Hey, Tubby.
Oh my god.
How you been? We missed you.
I mean,
that was definitely confusing. I honestly, it's getting a little scary now for me, where I'm reading these names. I'm reading like, oh, he's kind of almost the mainstay in the league now. I'm just like, I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
Right. And it's a mixture of I don't have CHSN, so I can't really be checking into these games all the time.
Yeah.
And like, reading box scores, you can do that all day till the cows come home. But
Sure.
you don't really know what's going on unless you're watching this stuff. So,
Yeah.
like I said, reading a couple of these names, I'm like, I'm just getting I'm getting scared.
Well, I can tell you,
back in.
Yeah.
I can tell you, Jimmy Butler fit in pretty well with the Golden State Warriors.
Don't even get me started on this Butler thing.
God. Hey, you know what?
Absolutely ridiculous.
At least the Bulls, hopefully, are committing to the tank.
Yeah, no,
honestly, they're like, all right, let's f around and
What
find
else
out.
are you gonna
Let's
do?
Let's play around. Let's be up 24 at half, and then let's lose by 25.
guys, I got a really funny idea.
You're not gonna believe this.
Impractical Jokers, Joe, go allow 25 points.
Take the lead. Okay, now lose by 25.
No, it's the Jimmy Butler thing for me. It's just how can you complain that much and be rewarded? That seems to be the narrative surrounding it. It's just it's
How do you
bonkers.
fall? Yeah, how do you fall ass backwards into success like that?
Yeah, the falling up the stairs, just the constant. I mean, honestly kudos to Pat Riley for not having saying no, we're not dealing with this. We're not paying you more for you to just sit there and complain. And it's just it's time after time with Butler. You said about Aaron Rodgers, but I guess Butler was literally the culture. He's the Grim Reaper, that meme that goes around that just knock on the door,
tear down more organizations.
From
exactly.
what it sounds like.
I know,
Everywhere
first,
he went.
When he first when he had the issues with Minnesota, and then I was like, because the rumors was that no one there wanted to win. Cat was all like wanted to play video games instead of going over film or whatever like that. And then you go to Philly, he's like, all right, you're with Joel Embiid, you're in a better situation. And then same BS again. And then he goes to Miami, and then Miami was like, okay, I'll
give Philly I'll give him the Philly pass because Joel Embiid was hurt every 5 seconds, and Ben Simmons is garbage. So I'll take it out of your mouth so you don't have to. But literally, I have no stat on it. No one's had any report on it ever, but one thing I did hear was like, one buddy was like, you want who started all this? Dwayne Wade. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I'm like, Dwayne Wade got in Jimmy Butler's ear when he was in Chicago and then started all this. I'm like, does that trend? Is that trash? Is that okay?
That's a bit of a stretch to say that. Like, I can't believe that Dwayne Wade goes to Jimmy Butler and that's what transpires. I don't
think it was exactly like, hey, Jimmy, go do this. I think he was in his ear saying like, oh, he's doing that to you? I would never let him do this to me. I would never let this organization do this.
There's that.
And then Jimmy Butler was probably like, yeah, you're right, Dwayne. Maybe I don't let him treat me like that, and then go on to go to 4 different orders. That is a stretch. I don't want to break your back stretching on that one, but
he did have the problems with Fred Hoiberg. We heard about that infamous argument of them in the locker room where he's like, I'm not listening to what you have to say. Well, expletize you and expletize you. Like, they just went back and forth. Apparently, had to be held back again, which I was like, wow, Fred Hoiberg had some fight in him. Shocking.
Such a mute.
Yes.
He's such a straight face.
What a spine apparently on this dude. Yeah. Nice. I'm shocked. Where was that on the court?
Yeah. And I ask again, just if Butler were to ever retire, I don't know if he has getting into the Basketball Hall of Fame is pretty easy right now, but
I don't think he makes it.
I don't think he makes it. And even if he did, like, he's going to retire as a Bull? Is he going to retire as a Minnesota Timberwolf? He's not going to. No one's going to have a jersey retirement for him.
I think
no one's going to have the 20 years come back. Hey, Jimmy Butler, we're going to have a Jimmy Butler night tonight.
Right.
It would have been the Miami Heat, but you've pretty much burnt that bridge to the ground at this point. Like,
he had the most success over there.
The finals run, playoff Jimmy, that whole thing.
But he already pissed off Pat Riley
in the foot. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
So that's out the door and out the window.
I can't. Even with Golden State though, I can't. And I know he had a good first game there and all that stuff. I just can't picture him.
Oh, that screamed desperate. Being desperate for the Golden State Warriors. That was just like, do we pull the trigger and like, okay, maybe do a rebuild and go all in on these young guys? Just like, no, we're gonna try go out on the sunset. Maybe give Curry one last try.
See, I thought they were gonna pull the trigger and try and get Vooch on there too, and just be like, we're going to give you Jonathan. I was actually seeing the Bulls possibly getting Kuminga, like a couple draft picks, or I think I'd probably see more than anything for Vucevic, because it just felt like Golden State's going to say, we're going to get Jimmy, and then we're also going to get Vooch. But then I heard from Joe Cowley, it was like, it's one or the other, apparently. That was. I heard him on CHGO Sport, on Chicago Sports. I was like, he said it was one or the other guy. They really wanted Jimmy more than anything. They got Jimmy, and once that happened, the Vooch thing just disappeared. Even though they were still talking, they still said, no, we're not going to pull the trigger now. We just can't give up what we have, which just stinks.
To be a fly on the wall for a Draymond versus Jimmy Butler practice. Oh my
God. The memes were flying around of Tyson and Holyfield fighting. Draymond and Jimmy see each other in the first practice, and it's just them blow for blow going at each other.
I'm waiting to see something go there. Other fairly big news, newly traded Anthony Davis to the Mavs is out for multiple weeks now, indefinitely.
Again, talking about Aaron Rodgers, I thought that was the picture of him bringing out the flag. That was literally Anthony Davis. The 5 seconds of he had a great first half. 24, absolutely. 13 rebounds. He was like 9 for 16. Murdering it. And then I see at the end, I checked back in at the end of the game, like, oh, he only had 2 points in the second half. And then sure enough,
I saw on Twitter they said Anthony Davis is down, and I was like, well, there goes the year. There's no way this can be real life. I just couldn't believe it.
David earlier thought that he doesn't think that the trade was all that far-sighted to the Lakers' favor, and he thought that the Mavs could be considered like a top 5 team in the West, and it's like, maybe, but now with this,
they'd have to do a lot of crawling back into it. That's the problem.
It's really screwed them.
If you would have kept Jalen Brunson and made this trade and gotten Anthony Davis, I would say this team's probably going to go into that top 4. Like, that's a top 3 team. Once you don't have that point guard, because let's be honest, Kyrie's not a true point guard. That's a 2 playing the 1. Like, you don't have that special. Like, I forgot they had Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
I completely forgot he's on the team.
Honestly, just another instance of like, oh, someone else has it worse off than you. Always. I was when I was seeing that picture of Jalen Brunson and Luka on draft night, and you fumbled that so bad. I'm like, all right, maybe being a Bulls fan isn't that bad. Playing isn't that bad.
Absolutely.
We're okay with being mediocre.
I mean, oh God.
That's just because Modest Buzelis is going to be so awesome.
Now,
that kid is so special.
He's
so special.
Please hold on to him and develop him into everything. It's going to.
I'm so glad they finally benched Patrick Williams and said give the kid the keys.
Yes. I told everybody at Windy City, I hope you guys really treasured the 2 games that he was down here. He's never coming.
No.
Unless unless he has like a rehab stint or something like that, and needs to come down for a couple games.
Yeah,
maybe we'll get lucky. Otherwise, I hope you guys cherish the moment that you had with him.
That kid,
I was 10 feet away from him. I got a video of him, and that was it. That's the last time.
Modest,
that's all you're gonna get.
Modest has gotten himself in the groove of the NBA feel and getting starting position well deserved in his case. And I was glad to hear that before the trade deadline that they already said that he was off limits. I was like, good, don't trade away your future, because this kid, I think they kind of stole him from the rest of the draft. Like, he was expected to be a top 5 pick.
Like 14? Yeah. That's pretty solid.
So my brother was like ecstatic. I'm like, all right, cool. Tell me about him, because I have no idea who this kid is.
He was so talented in high school, and then he goes to the G League Ignite and he just lights it up over there. But everybody just kept saying, well, we think the better player is actually going to be Ron Holland, who was from the G League Ignite too. Like, everybody kept getting put over him, but I don't know, everything I saw from him in terms of his stats, his play, he was the most well-rounded player in terms of scoring inside, outside, rebounds, assists, blocks, defense. Everything about his game reads to the level of a guy that you can actually build around. So if you're saying you've got him and I guess now Kobe White for the potential long haul, not a bad kind of like good pillars to have.
Being able, from what I've been able to gather, his sense of just being able to drive to the basket, go one-on-one with these guys, is it's awesome.
His court vision is insane for a guy that's 19 years old to be able to be like, I'm gonna just hit the no-look pass to you real quick, just off the side, because I know you're there.
Yeah,
like his sense of direction, his sense of awareness around him is insane.
For how tall is he?
If the core guards are going to be for the next couple of years, Kobe, Buzelis. I don't know if he's a guard necessarily, but like
guard forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of guess depends if you get that number 1 overall pick.
He's
or
like
not.
6'7", 6'8", so he's
he's 6'10".
He's technically 6'10".
He's nice and lanky. Okay.
Yeah, he's a long dude. It's just he's got great handles and stuff, and he's skinny. That's the only other.
If that's going to be the core, then throwing Josh Giddey, who's 23. 24 years old.
Yeah.
I love the like. Oh, hit that trade, dude. He's
in the cast for them
for rebounds and 3 assists. Only Jokic and that's done so far.
So it's starting to pan out because Caruso's coming off the bench in OKC, and he's not putting up the numbers that Giddey's doing.
No.
So
his defense has been.
And I love our local OKC fan. Our fan, he justifies by saying no. It's for the defense. I'm like, he doesn't. He's out for 6 minutes a game.
Yeah,
you're getting his worth in his 6 minutes out there.
And that's stacked of a roster.
Whatever.
He's always got to find something.
Yeah, exactly. You don't need him. You're fine. You get coming back. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, who's minus 600 for the.
I was gonna favor with someone. I get it. I know he's dropped.
Yeah,
he's like nothing. It's just I'm getting Jokic, man, and he's just it's a double every night with this guy, and he's making full pass. But I'm thinking, but that's the thing. Is like everybody is looking at Buzelis and saying that he's got the skinnier version of Jokic look to himself, which I don't think you should do that comparison because he can be his own dude. But the fact that he has all these unique talents as a forward guard kind of position should say a lot for where the Bulls' future is at.
Yeah,
and hoping that obviously that first round pick you got back from San Antonio is look, I don't know. I don't think they're getting that number 1 overall pick. It's such a far gone dream. And I mean, the Cooper Flag would be fantastic, but
because now to me, I think we're going to see a jump by San Antonio because De'Aaron Fox with Wemby, I think is going to be a fantastic duo.
Well, that's the Bulls pick. Remember, that's their own.
No,
pick,
I know,
so.
but I'm saying that the I got you. So it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what San Antonio does. The Bulls, that's their own draft pick from DeMar DeRozan. So if they're just bad, from like they lose out from here on in, that pick just keeps getting better and better. There's no like, oh, San Antonio's protection.
Yeah.
That stuff's
That's
all
right.
eliminated.
That
So
was
they're solid. They're Gucci, if you will.
Gucci.
I just wanted to throw that word in. But
yeah, for those Bulls fans also just like so wrapped up in like, oh, we didn't get enough picks, but yes, you like as many bites as the apple as you want.
Yes.
But it's good to get the one pick back because the idea like you cap off at like 14% being the highest chance for that number one overall pick.
Yeah,
They finally capped it off. So you just to have one little ticket to go in there, that's good enough for me in that
it's
sort of
something.
sense.
You get a top 4 pick in this draft, you're still getting a good player because Mark Sears is coming out of Alabama.
Exactly.
There's a lot of top talent coming out of this draft.
My question to you guys was just going to be, if I'm looking at the West standings, and mostly just the West, just because the
That's
Lakers,
where the talent is.
Yeah, the Lakers made the trade for Luka.
Right.
Obviously, Anthony Davis, Dallas Mavericks, De'Aaron Fox going to San Antonio, Gold State getting Jimmy Butler. The Lakers are 5th, Dallas at 8, and then you got Golden State and the Spurs just on the outside looking in. I think at least I think the Mavericks probably fall off, and in that same breath, probably the Kings too. I don't think this Zach LaVine trade is going to pan out as well.
The Kings are trying to rebuild, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like
I
that's
feel so bad for Sabonis.
I thought he was going to get traded, honestly.
Yeah,
I thought
like
so.
he's just stuck there. And I thought, I'm like, dude, if anyone's going to get him, go for Golden State. Like, I know it's in an interdivision, but like they need a big man. He makes the most sense. He's Andrew Bogut for them. He's perfect.
That's a wow.
I also
name in a minute,
especially with Anthony Davis being out for a few weeks. And I still think that Dallas lost that trade to the Lakers. I see
100%.
Mavs and Kings are going to start falling off.
At worst, you traded away the number 3 player in the league.
Exactly.
For Anthony Davis, who's 30, and just a bunch of role players, and I think you got a couple picks here and there. So you lost that
He's
trade.
the best scoring player in the NBA right now.
And I get like they need another big man with Gafford out. But now, with Gafford comes in, that'll be ideal because then Anthony Davis,
4 guys in that position.
You got AD back at the 4 where he's supposed to be.
AD, Lively, Powell, Gafford.
I also do
need.
I love the Lakers asked Anthony Davis like, hey, like, what do you want from this trade deadline? He's like, I want a big man. I prefer playing the 4. Can you give me a guy like when Dwight was here? That's when we were able to make the championship run.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, cool. You're traded.
Cool.
You got your big man, but you're going to Dallas.
Yeah. But I can see the Warriors and Spurs definitely sneaking up because those two teams definitely got better.
I think the Clippers are going to fall.
Clippers, really?
Oh, they got their guy. They signed their man.
Who's that?
Don't you know? They got the
No.
best point guard in the NBA.
Oh, God. No.
That's right, folks.
Oh.
Remember, the Brooklyn Nets got him a buyout because Ben Simmons is in the Clippers organization now.
God.
So they're going to the championship. Sorry, I just had to get that out of my system.
They haven't established from the start, have they?
No.
I was like, you better
he's not even going to touch the court. Are you kidding me? Honestly, in the West right now, I think Memphis is probably going to be the one that I favor the most just because they look so cohesive. Like, I know Oklahoma City right now is just running the table, but Memphis right now has the vets, I think. They've got the talent. I think they've got the speed. But
they play, and when they load manage Ja Morant, they still win by 20.
Yeah, they have the perfect kind of guys to switch out.
I love Zach Edey. I love what Zach Edey.
Oh, he's perfect.
Slowly becoming the enforcer, like the Bill Laimbeer of the league.
I almost hate it.
He's the new Steven Adams for them.
That's a much better
Yes,
comparison.
he's
much
new
better
Steven Adams, and he doesn't back down. He does not care about you. It's fantastic.
I'll admit, I did not see that coming. I thought Edey was going to be a complete bum in the league. And
Everybody did.
He's absolutely killing it.
And me and David sat here and told people, you will be totally knocked off your rocker if you think he was a failure. I will also say this, too, for teams that drop off. I don't think Houston's going to keep this up much longer.
I don't think so either.
They're just
too young.
Yes.
A lot of nice talents.
Yeah.
Very athletic. They'll shoot. They'll jump out of the gym for you. But
very
if
OKC.
If they match with if the Suns put it together, that would be a pretty tough matchup for Houston.
Shout out to Ime Udoka too. By the way, he's put that team that roster looks.
Ahmed
shiny.
Thompson looks awesome.
Oh, dude,
he's like
looking
Kevin
good.
Garnett's favorite player.
he is a stud.
No, he's looking good.
Man.
A lot more NBA season coming up and a lot more movement should be once these teams start settling in with their new roster. Very interesting to see. We're going to be talking about that all throughout the season.
We ain't talking about the Wizards.
Yeah, maybe they'll get Cooper.
I just had to
flag.
give him a slide.
When we come back, ladies and gentlemen,
Poor Cooper.
we're gonna go off the rails here next on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com.
This is your home for sports.
Longtime fan. Sports is like life.
SportsTownChicago.com.
What's up, Chicago? If you're ever, and I mean ever, out looking for good urban food 24/7, come down to White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. White Palace Grill is open 365 days a year since 1939. I personally love the steak and egg dinner, but whether you like burgers for breakfast, steak for lunch, or French toast for dinner, White Palace is the place for you. The diner is a 24-hour urban oasis. Come now, come later. Hey, come now and later. We never close at White Palace Grill, located 1159 South Canal Street in Chicago. Visit us at whitepalace.com or order with Uber Eats or Grubhub anytime, any day.
Daddy, when you look at me, I could see your wheels turning. About what am I going to be when I grow up? A major league first baseman? Maybe a point guard for a national champion.
The odds of a child becoming a professional athlete are 1 in 16,000. Far-fetched? Maybe. But did you know the odds of a child being diagnosed with autism are 1 in 166? That's right, 1 in 166. To learn the signs of autism, go to autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Go to Lux Barbershop for the best barbers and stylists in Plainfield, Illinois. I go there when I have an important event, date, or I just want to look good. The straight razor shave will have you looking fresh and smooth. Lux Barbershop is open 7 days a week. Go to Lux Barbershop for the finest barbers, stylists, braiders, and massage therapists in the southern suburbs. Check out all their daily deals on Facebook, Instagram, and luxbarbershop.com.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
High school sports is here, and SportsTownChicago.com. We are ready to provide the best high school sports live coverage all across Northern Illinois. From the first kickoff of high school football to the final spike of high school volleyball, we at SportsTownChicago.com are ready to bring you high school sports live. SportsTownChicago.com and STC Friday Night Lights in a league of our own.
Blow the whistle.
Going off the rails.
Another train!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here on Blow the Whistle on SportsTownChicago.com, and we are going off the rails, baby, on this Monday. Sorry, I just finished eating a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
That choo-choo noise, the Family Guy that we use, that episode was just on the other day, and I laugh every single time just because I hear it. Because I always got the little mall train. Choo-choo!
Another train. I love that.
Oh, man.
So good.
If any one of you guys were, we just finished up talking the Super Bowl, NFL news, and the NBA, and now we're going a little off the rails. And Andrew, I want to start with you because you were in Vegas.
I was.
And I want you to tell a little bit about it.
Yeah, it was it was fun. So if you don't know, I kind of explained it last week. I was there for the AIM Expo with my team that I do my radio show with. We were looking at all the motorcycle stuff. It's one of the biggest gatherings of motorcycle parts, pieces, things like that. It was fun. I mean, I was there working the event as well as working with my team. Basically, when I was there, the first day in, very busy. We started like I left on Tuesday, got there Tuesday night.
Okay.
I didn't get a chance to like hang out with anybody. I pretty much just like laid in bed at my suite. I was at the Sahara too, which is super nice.
Oh yeah.
Super nice there. But then I almost overslept because we had to be there like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So I get there, we work the event. It was awesome. I'm taking pictures, doing videos and stuff because that was my job, taking pictures and then take video. And then I was supposed to edit all that stuff for like packages for them. And then at the end of it, our lead wanted us to go out for the night for dinner because we got done around like 8 or 9 o'clock or something like that when we finally wrapped up, something like that. I don't even remember what time because there's no clocks anywhere. And he decided he wanted to take us to his favorite place to go eat. And he took us to like the most hole in the wall, like never seen this place before kind of thing. And it was I will call it a gentleman's club.
Fancy.
Yeah. So picture this, a man about in his, I would say 40s, myself and 4 other guys who are probably anywhere between their early 20s to mid 30s, and 2 women who are in their like mid to late 20s walk into this gentleman's club. We sit down at a table, and the first thing the waitress says, "Sorry, you can't order anything hot, by the way. Our grill exploded." Oh my God. Which we were like, what? It just caught on fire. Then our lead decided, because one of the guys had just turned 21 who was working with us, to get the kid a nice little VIP dance. Mm-hmm. He didn't ask for it. He didn't want it. We found out later, because he's in there, and then he comes out and we're like, how was it? And he goes, it's really awkward. I didn't know what to do. Like, I was so confused. Like, what was happening? Like, I didn't know what to do with my hands. And it's like, it's okay, kid. It's okay.
It's like, I regret my life choices.
Yeah, exactly. And then Thursday, same thing. But Thursday there was like a little after party. We got together. We got a chance to kind of hang out with each other a little bit more. And we went and we partied all the way out to like 4 a.m. Now we're starting at 6.
Oh my God.
But we're partying until 4 o'clock in the morning.
Classic Vegas.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know though until I actually like looked at my phone at that point, and I went, oh, it's 4:10. And then all of a sudden my body was just like, and I was like, oh no. And they're like, no, it's okay. We'll get an Uber Black. We'll just take it, XL. We'll take it back to the convention center. I was like, I gotta go to bed. Yeah. I'm like, I can't. Like but we went straight to the convention center. So I showed up. I got like bags under my eyes. Like we all looked disheveled. Like we smelled like we just smelled like the night.
You smell like debauchery.
Yeah, exactly. We had a few moments in there too where like you're just looking around and seeing all the people. They were all nice, by the way. They're wonderful people and everything, but it felt like the senior center was like just was on turbo, because I just saw so many older individuals with just tatted up from like, from the arm all the way up, like onto the neck and stuff. And I was just like, where am I? Who are these people? Like it was a trip. It was an experience. So I thoroughly enjoyed myself. I wish I would have been able to enjoy more of Vegas, get more sun too. That would have been nice. But
I feel like you can only do Vegas for like a good few days. Like I've heard no one ever does like a whole week.
That was the thing.
Like 3 days is like the standard.
I tapped out at 3 days because I told you, I got an earlier flight out of there on Friday because I was going to get back 11 o'clock at night, but I was like, I'm exhausted. When my time was up, I looked for an earlier flight. I grabbed one for like a little bit more, and I was like, perfect. I'll get home by like 7, and I'll be back home. I'll be chilling, relaxing, and I just collapsed on my bed. I didn't even unpack. I just threw my bags on the floor and was just like, done.
When I left Vegas, I was probably hungover for like 3 days.
That's what I felt like.
I wanted to do nothing and deal with nothing.
And that was the problem. Is the next day I had to go to my buddy's his kid's first birthday. So I was struggling to make it up there in the afternoon was when it started. And I was still like, this sucks. This hurts. Everything hurts. Everything feels terrible. And he's like, how you doing, guys? He's like shouting in my face. I'm like, Tom, please stop yelling. I need you to stop yelling. And of course, like his wife's best friend is there. And she's like, yeah, how was Vegas? Like right in my face. I'm like, please, everybody stop.
Stop yelling.
The world is shaking. It was. I would definitely go back again, but that was a lot. that was a lot for sure.
It sounds like it was a lot going on.
Although according to them, I did better than anybody else. I made way too many videos and I took way too many pictures. Yeah. So they were like, do you know you took like 700 pictures and like did 20 promo videos? I was like, did I? I'm like, I can't even remember. I was like, I was up till like 3 a.m. most nights putting it together. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, you guys paid for it, so I just did the work.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so. I think that's what you said, what we were saying earlier. It's just like 2 days is probably not good enough.
Yeah.
3 days is probably just right. Anything like 4 or 5 days, you're gonna be poor.
If I had been there any longer, I would have hit the casino and then we would have had a problem.
Did you put 20 on black for me?
No, I didn't. I didn't get a chance to gamble. We didn't hit any. Well, we did go to the casinos, but we really went there just to go to like the bars and stuff. Like that was really kind of it.
I mean, that's a good.
I mean,
better way to save your money.
Yeah, I didn't gamble. I know some of the dudes who are like, I brought $500 and I'm gonna, and then they come back and they be like,
that's not a flex at all. I'm sorry.
It's not. But for these kids, they were like Scotty, 21, 22.
Fair enough.
They're like, I got $500. I'm gonna go burn it. 20 minutes later, I lost it.
Lost it all.
Yeah, and I'm like, what do you mean you lost it? He's like, roulette.
Lost it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Dropped it. Dropped it on the ground before I got to the table.
Dude, it is wild when you go to anywhere in Vegas. There is just slots, tables, anywhere you go. Like in the lobby of just a standard hotel room.
Dude, in the
airport.
Dude, in the gentleman's club I was in, there was a section that you could go to go play slots, just in case you wanted to spend a little bit more money, or try to make it back, I guess, for what you lost. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, you done with the women here? Go play our slots.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, you want to pay them more money? Go ahead. Try to win your hand real fast. It's crazy. It is absolutely insane. But
it's definitely a different beast.
Yeah. I had fun though. I did at the end of the day. I had fun. I like you said, 3 days was my top.
Yeah. I was only out there for an AEW event, Double or Nothing.
Okay.
Like 2 or 3 years ago when Punk won the title.
Yes.
And they kind of like, it was a mixture of like, we only went for the show. We went around, we walked around the strip, but I feel like even when we were there only for like 3 or 4 days, like, or only there for like 3 days, like 2 nights, didn't have enough to like go around. I also was like, broke. I was like 21, 22, had a job, but I wasn't getting paid out the wazoo at all.
Yeah.
So, again, like, going in there, was like, if I lose like $40, I'm done. Like I have no interest. So
right.
Yeah, it was just one of those where, we were there for the AEW event. We wanted to go to like all the stuff within there. So it was like, yeah, Vegas is cool. But like, we didn't really do Vegas stuff. We just did like another wrestling show. So I would love to go out there again for just doing Vegas stuff.
I would definitely.
I would want to go out again. Yeah, and I want more money because just like you, Nick. We went out there for a wedding and like we had to wait to check in on our Airbnb, so we're just hanging out at MGM. And my buddies, they go up to a roulette table and they're just like, "Yeah, let's just throw $50 down." I'm like,
"Huh?
This is my budget." I'm like I want to wait.
Yeah, if I lose this, I'm eating crackers.
Yeah,
right. The next 4 days.
I was like, I'll hold off. Like we just got here. Let me get a drink in. I'm like, I'm gonna go check out the sports book, and I'm gonna go do some fun stuff over there.
You're trying to spread out your money.
Yeah,
your time as much as
trying to be
possible.
conservative as hell with
That's
this.
what we were trying to tell this kid. We're like, dude, don't do this. And then he went and spent all $500 of it, and he's like, can I just get like a water? And like, and this bartender's like, really? And I'm like, he's 21. He just lost all of his money, and she goes, I don't care who he is. Dumb is dumb. And she walks back, fills up the water and just like slides it at him. It's like, here.
Yeah. I mean,
she's like, no tip needed.
Every day. So
it's fair.
It was so funny. Oh my God.
Yeah. I think I don't know. I'm kind of sitting on this one. You guys can tell me if it sounds cool or if it's even worth it. I haven't had a vacation forever. Like I don't know. It's probably since I was a kid, or maybe if you want to count that Vegas trip, that kind of was. But I want to go to System of a Down and Korn in
you
New
were talking.
Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing like a whole week of it. It's a 2-day show.
Yeah.
But I want to get there like Monday, do New York stuff on Monday, Tuesday, go to the show on Wednesday, Thursday, and then leave on Friday or something like that. So
that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be a really good time.
I don't know. I don't even know if 2 days is enough time to do enough stuff there. But then again, I heard hate big crowds.
So I've never been to New York, but I've heard that you need to give your almost experience all of it.
Okay.
You do.
But if you get there on Monday, I would think you'd still have a good few days to spend and get like a majority of the touristy stuff in.
And then it also I have to really like deep dive and see what would be like. Okay, what's worth it? How far is what would be like the good hotel to go to?
Yeah,
that's close enough to the venue, but close enough to like New York that I'd get to like do.
I mean, the good thing is that
the
because I've been to New York and the subway system just basically runs like pretty much parallel to each other. So it's not like you would have to travel too far and everything. And plus the train and the system and even the bus system to go to New York from New Jersey and all that stuff is not too bad either.
Because they're doing the concert at MetLife. That's going to be the.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's in like I said, it would be a New York.
Getting there is not going to be a problem
Jersey.
at all. Yeah, of course. No, like you said, you need like acclimate to what, because I went there from cousins NYU, and we were there for a week, and it finally hit me like day 3. I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. Keep in mind the teachers there are insane, because we had a guy who just decided. By the way, we'd just gone out and had dinner. We get in the cab, and this guy is driving full speed ahead down the street with the newspaper in his lap, like just reading it casually and just being like, man, I can't believe them Yankees, man. They didn't do it. And meanwhile, we're like, red light, stop. And he's just like slamming on the brake. And it is a trip to be out there.
Glad you said Yankees, because the concert's August 27th and 28th. So it's gonna be baseball season.
Yeah,
maybe there'll be a game.
Maybe they'll catch a game. That's how I accidentally went to a Red Sox game and finally got to experience Fenway.
There you go.
I was out there, Rhode Island, and my cousin was just like, "Hey, Red Sox play on Sunday. What are you guys doing?" We're like, "Nothing."
Yeah.
Like, you told me you wanted to go to. You've always wanted to go to Fenway. Let's go. And so, if there's a game there while you're out there, I would go.
Yeah,
especially to Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium is nice too.
You got Times Square to go check out. I've heard the 9/11 museum is actually pretty cool.
It is a really cool place. We went there and we checked it out when we were out there. It's very somber there, obviously, but it is very beautiful to be in that kind of presence and see everything, especially considering we were all old enough to experience that. So, and that we did the Times Square, which I kind of hated, honestly.
Really?
It's just so many, because it's so many people and it's
so many
clustered.
people, bright lights, you're hearing just honking.
I love the fact
You're
that
just overstimulated as hell.
And I just love the fact that just like Chicago, like the street vendors are just like, every guy has an EP that they just gotta sell me, man. You gotta hear my mixtape, man. You got like every dude wanted to sell me his piece, and I'm like they were all next to each other, and I remember distinctly going like, I'm only picking one, so you gotta sample me your stuff. And they sure as hell they all played their stuff, and I was like, I choose you.
That's hilarious.
I started an argument.
It's like a battle of Camp Rock.
I started an argument between these guys where two of them started shoving at each other. And I felt so bad, but at the same time, I was like, this, of course this would happen. Yeah. Like you all, like, I was also like, you all set up next to each other. You could have spread it out. Like, what's wrong with you? It was it was so funny. I mean, oh my God, it's the best. I was for New York itself. I don't know if when I was there in the summer, it was pretty dirty and smelled because the garbage does just pile up and it cooks outside in that heat.
Emily has told me that what are they called, bodegas, like those little corner stores.
Yeah, convenience stores.
Yeah, they most of them make a mean breakfast sandwich on a bagel.
Yes,
and then if you hit up one of those, or you get your dollar slice.
If I find a deli out there, I can get a nice breakfast sandwich.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I've also heard the Cake Boss Bakery. I heard it's overrated.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I heard it's very overrated.
I never went there, but there was we went past it. There was a line of people.
Isn't that and speaking of Vegas, they have the Cake Boss has that little cake.
Yes, they did.
Little vending machine.
Yes, they
which
do.
I've also heard was very overpriced and overrated.
They had a cake vending machine?
Yeah, they've got a cake vending machine because we found out where it was because one of the women we were with wanted to go check it out. Yeah. But she got out and she came right back in. She's like, there's like a line out the door for this stupid thing. I'm not waiting for some stupid cake for out of a vending machine of all things. I'm not doing that.
I can't believe it's not cake.
And
exactly.
We didn't do it, but we wanted to when we were out there. We just didn't have the time. We wanted to go to Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, which on the opposite end I heard is very good.
Yeah, I've heard that's
and I know
very
they
good.
just opened one in Chicago too, which again heard is very good. So
I know I need to go. I need to go check out. I need to see what the hype is about this beef Wellington.
Ooh,
I need to.
That's like one of his specialties.
Dude, I've been watching the new seasons of Kitchen Nightmares. I freaking love those shows.
Oh yeah.
It's just him like ripping at all of these restaurant owners.
The best ones are the old school, when he's still in the UK on the BBC.
Oh yes,
when he's swearing
just
at him,
dropping
like,
all the heart. Yeah,
dude, it's brutal. Then it's kind of like the only thing about watching these shows. Like it's been my nightly routine. I go to bed. I'm like, let's throw on some Kitchen Nightmares. If I fall asleep, it's like I'll go back.
Oh, I got a new one to go to. But go ahead.
No, and so it's just sometimes I'm like looking at these restaurants. I'm like, I don't know if I ever want to go eat out again because some of the crap there is disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, you got buckets of raw chicken all slimy and whatnot. I'm like, ugh.
It's one of those places, like some of those places, like you bump into the wall, you feel like this is just gonna be bugs, or like just the paint's just gonna chip off.
I'm going to leave an imprint into the ceiling or something if I touch it. Like it's that
But
kind
usually the places that you know it's dirty.
Yeah,
it's usually got the best food.
There's like a Family Guy joke. He's like, no, don't bring the exterminator. If you kill all these bugs, all the structure in the walls is gonna come crumbling down. Don't do it. It's not gonna be worth it.
They all run out.
It's made out of termites and cockroaches.
Exactly. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Oh, like my new guilty pleasure, like going to bed video or like new YouTube channel, The Outdoor Boys. That guy that it's him and his kids mostly, but sometimes it's just mostly like the guy that does the solo camping. He just goes up in Alaska. He's like, I'm gonna be in 3 days stranded by myself. I'm gonna be making shelter, doing fires, and he like brings all this food to cook. I don't know. I have no desire to go do it myself, but I will watch this guy for hours on end.
Really? Okay.
Be in the most deserted places mostly in Alaska. That's where he's living.
The Outdoor Boys?
The Outdoor Boys. Yeah.
Outdoor Boys. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's fun.
I need to find like some new guilty pleasure, just kind of throw it on the TV and just catch myself.
It's relaxing. It's just him chopping wood. He'll comment. You're like, oh, this you can see the layers of the snow. I'm just like, you'll learn some stuff sometimes. It's a little bit of survival instinct here, survival instinct there.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, this has been it's old. You know, it's not brand new, but
Yeah.
I'm late to the party on this one for sure.
I started watching. They made a what's that? They made a new version of Jeopardy, and Colin Jost is hosting it. It's on Max, but it's more of like what's the actual? It's for like this generation.
Okay.
And so there's some like they use like Office references and blah blah blah, and so but some of them I'm like. I'm reading this and I'm like, okay, you people must do nothing.
Oh, it's just called Pop Culture Jeopardy.
Pop Culture Jeopardy, yeah.
Okay.
And some of the people on there, I'm like, you literally probably just sit at home and watch TV and movies all day, every day.
God, this
I'm
has to be infuriating to the people that actually like try on Jeopardy.
Yes.
Oh yeah. There was a mom that she's like, oh, I watch Jeopardy all the time, and she's a part with her 2 kids, and then they're just sitting there blank, and they end up with like negative points. So I'm like, oh, you thing.
I have a doctor, and the other one's just like, I wrecked the hot to a girl. I'm gonna go on this Pop Culture Jeopardy.
I make TikToks.
Yeah. Which, speaking of her, one comment on Twitter made me laugh so hard now I can't like unhear it. They go, she sounds like Butters from South Park, and I close my eyes. That's all I see in here now.
I mean, speaking of South Park, that's the one I came back to.
Yeah. Like a Southern South Park, Southern Butters.
I'm a crack baby. It's very.
Yeah.
Anyone buy my coin?
Yeah, she's in trouble.
Oh,
she's in trouble. That was tough for watching that, like trying to put up a fake cry.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know what I was gonna get myself into. And just, I think I'm gonna cry. And she's like, and then like, is it face banks?
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all.
Oh, yeah.
Which, they're offering enough hot water as it is, dude. Keep yourself out of it.
Completely unrelated. I found this tweet earlier while you guys were talking about the Vegas trip, and I just could not stop laughing.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering why Pearl Jam was trending, and it's because of Rob Rockham's tweet right here. White people will tell you they couldn't understand a word of Kendrick Lamar. Oh, that and then.
I was gonna say, I'm like, if there was ever somebody that you could never understand,
there's times that in like the Chili Pepper songs, I don't know what the hell they're saying.
Sometimes,
Anthony's trying to belt it out, and you're like,
it's exactly just like, what are you going on? What are you doing?
Oh my god,
that's what my dad was saying. He was like, I don't even know what he's saying. Like, he's just talking. I'm like, Dad, it's rapping. He's like, rapping is talking. And I'm like, well, you know what? Singing is talking in just different levels.
Yeah, exactly.
The best thing from Ted is just like, any 90s song, you can just use vowels and get away with it.
That's very true. It's very, very true. I mean,
Also,
it's not wrong.
shout out Rob Rockham for that. It's solid. It went
great.
viral. He looks like he's some indie wrestler, so hopefully he gets booked.
I got one here if you guys want. We can kind of go through.
Yeah.
These are tweets from a guy by the name of Adam Sharp. He put these out. He's like, the best names for existing things, better names for existing things. So instead of it being called a peacock, he decided it should be called a disco chicken.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Instead of a zebra, we call it a prison donkey.
Okay.
A prison donkey.
New.
Instead of a hedgehog, it's called an ouch mouse.
I like that one. Okay.
Wait, a what?
An ouch mouse.
An ouch mouse?
Yes. And if you think this is just pertain to animals, folks, hold on to your hard hats because instead of bricks, they are called domesticated rocks. I love that one.
Hold on to your hard
He
hat.
did a bunch of these. Bats are called sky puppies.
Okay. I hope not.
Rhinoceros is called a battle unicorn.
I like that one.
A strainer is called a holy poly. I'm using that the next time I have to cook for my family.
A holy poly.
I'm probably getting a spatula like over the head from my abuelita as well. Grandma, give me the holy boly.
Oh, Frank the Tank chimed in and he said he watches Outside Boys too.
Yeah. He said,
Outside Boys?
He said, dude, that guy the best.
made a house out of snow. You made an igloo.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Frank is an igloo.
BMAC also chimed in too. He said, I'll never forget being in New York and this guy chucking his garbage out of his window on like the 9th floor and just cracking the hell out of someone's windshield. Never appreciated all our alleys and the garbage not just being in the streets more. Yeah, 100%.
My brothers, when they were we were in Denver and they went to a McDonald's and they had a crackhead person just in there giggling to themselves, throwing a tennis ball at people while trying to order a McDouble or something.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's some of those guys really they are characters truly.
It's great,
especially on the train. Those guys are something else entirely.
All right, boys, you about done?
I think so.
All right, yeah.
That was let's get back on the rails.
Let's get back on the rails. That ends it for Off the Rails for today, and that ends Monday's post Super Bowl show of Blow the Whistle. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in and chiming in on the Twitch and the YouTube chat. We always appreciate you guys chiming in, giving us a little more to talk about. Keep them coming every time we do a show.
Helps us out, helps the numbers out. Share us around, share, subscribe.
Go
Blow
buy
the
Whistle
merch.
Yeah, and every time you do that, any little comment, any interaction on Twitch, it helps the algorithm out. So
absolutely,
trying to cheat the system here, baby. So, no, thank you all, and that tuned in when we recapped and gave our thoughts on the Super Bowl 59 NFL news that broke before the Super Bowl, and a little bit this morning, the little NBA. Then we went off the rails. If you guys missed any of that, shame on you. I'm not going to say just kidding. Shame on you. But you can listen back to all of our episodes on all podcast platforms. That's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, iHeartRadio, not Quad Pod. Quad Pod lights are shut off.
You're out.
You're out. You're done. You're fired.
He gone.
But yes, thank you to everyone. And we'll be back here on Wednesday. It'll be David, me, and Nick on Wednesday. Same bat time, 2 to 4 Central Time, PM. And we're going to figure out what we talk about then. But everyone, for myself, Tyler Butterball, Buterball,
Andrew Pepe Valentin,
no gimmicks, Nick Johnston.
Everyone stay positive, be positive, surround yourself with positivity, and positive things will happen. Have a great rest of the week, and we'll talk to you guys all on Wednesday. Peace out, everybody.
This is your home for sports.
Longtime fan, sports is like life.
SportsTownChicago.com.